Hey guys, welcome to my latest wrestling live stream, latest old school wrestling live stream for the month of September 2020. And for this one, I've got the WWE network lined up once again. And I'm going all the way back to 1988, where, believe it or not, I was just a little nipper. I was just 8 at the time. So September the 24th, 1988. This is just world-class wrestling, world-class championship wrestling, I should say, television from that day with the likes of Terry Gordy, Jerry the King Lawler, Kerry Von Erich, and the rest of them. Well, hey, TT. World-class wrestling, one of the great territories back in the 1980s. So some of the best stuff probably around at that point. So I thought I'd check this one out just for a bit of variety. Jack is over there, TT. I might show you him a bit later. Okay. So I'm going to count this down and then I'm going to get straight into it. Another quick one tonight. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm not sure about this. Oh, this music sounds familiar. Corny uses this music on his show for one of the jingles. Well, they really were studs. Hey, Mr. Morgan. No, I haven't. I haven't seen many like world class championship wrestling. Only like a few matches, random stuff. But it's good to see because I know this is when Jerry Lawler was kind of in his prime. Obviously, when he came to WWE, he was a really great heel commentator and he was a great personality, but obviously he wasn't in the prime of his like in-ring career. So it's great to see him here. And a few other names that I know from other places. Terry Gordy, who I saw later in WCW. He also appeared in Japan. And the Von Erichs. Well, Barry Horowitz is a classic jobber. He sort of made jobbers a thing. So I always respect him for that. And he's a decent worker. Vincent doesn't stand out as much, but, you know, he had a part to play. And here we go. The branding iron. Such a staple of Texas wrestling. I was a big Brett fan, especially back in the day. Oh, there goes the ref. The referee didn't last long. These guys aren't mucking about. Ringing his bell. Do you mean Jim Neidhart? Yeah, I liked him. He was, he was a character. pretty impressive looking guy. And, it was that classic chalk and cheese type mix of him and Bret made them a perfect. Obviously, Bret went on to have the bigger career, but the Anvil played its part definitely as part of that team. He actually had a lot of personality. I think people underestimate that from the Anvil. He just never grew into like being a singles guy the way Bret did. Black Bart, eh? That's a bit of a dodgy name now, especially watching it in 2020. Do the Bartman. So that was last week. Black Bart against Vince Apollo. Whoa. Hey, Getty. That's exactly what I was wondering. That's the joke I was going for, so thanks for picking up on that. How are you going? For a minute, I thought it was Rick Martel against Black Bart. Black Bart looking a little bit rough. Looks like he just crawled out of a dumpster. Just hung him up. Oh, nice drop kick. I like the ring ropes they've got going here. One red, one yellow, one blue. Oh, that didn't take long. Do the Bartman wins. Oh, hey, Anthony. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to like the video, even though I know you have very little interest in wrestling. That's a good question, Getty. It's a tough one because I probably haven't watched wrestling as much in the last 10 years as I did previously. I would have to have a think. I mean, I really like guys like CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, guys like that. I would have to think. I mean, there's been some good women wrestlers. I'm not surprised dressed like that. The Wild Samoans. Yeah, I'm okay. Not too bad. Found out today then the area I live in is going into curfew again, basically putting us back into like lockdown, at least for 2 weeks. So that's a bit worrying. Not surprising. Well, I don't know all the rules. I just know then you can't really. I know you can't have, you have to stick to like your household and no others from outside. And I think there's certain curfew on things like pubs and clubs. Like, I think they have to close by about 9 or 10. Tom Jones, I thought he was a singer. Whoa. It's starting to look that way. Okay, just for TT. Yeah, just for TT. There you go. There you go, TT. I got him from over there. What do you call him? Just to please TT. There you go. Very good. Okay. He is indeed. That's major night. Wow. This is pretty cool. Kendo Nagasaki. This is really loud. I'll turn it down a bit. Kendo Nagasaki, who was a famous guy in British wrestling, in the corner here. You've got the Black Ninja and Tom Jones, who I thought was a singer. What a mixture. Too many wild things are happening. You're telling me. So they're sticking with the race theme. Bum 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 bum. 1980s getter, I would probably say Ric Flair was the best wrestler of the 80s. Him or Harley Race, Ricky Steamboat, guys like that, I think you're looking at for the 80s. But I would say Flair for the 1980s. And he was pretty great for the first half of the 90s as well. Kamala, who sadly passed away recently. Whoa, drop kick from Kamala. Awesome. This guy could move in his day. Boom. That's it. The Beast Kamala. Slapping that old belly. Like I do every time I get the Pop-Tarts out. Hey, Camille. Oh, Camille XX tonight. You've changed your name again. Oh, I can leave my house. Don't worry. Not that I need to. I've got plenty of entertainment. Well, serves him right. Kendall Windham. What an idiot. That's what happens when you have a stupid name like Kendall. Well, Sainsbury's is only up the road. We've got a couple of places. You can still go out for food. It's just to restrict it to like important trips, but yeah. And there's a Lidl's local as well. I'm still going to go out. It's just you have to be more selective, I guess. I think it might be worse in Lancaster, which is the next town along, than it is here. Yeah, but Lidl's is cheap. Oh yeah. Here we go. Terry Gordy, member of the Freebirds. Well, sometimes she goes, sometimes I go, TT, but I mean, she obviously hasn't been feeling too good recently, so I've been doing most of the shopping. And obviously, because of the recent lockdown, she's obviously more in the vulnerable age group, so it makes sense for me to do most of the shopping. Go, Terry. Yeah, crossbody. Boom! Ran right straight through him. That's a good question, Camilla. I don't know. It's got some quite big roots in the north, but like traditional British type wrestling. But I suppose there's more venues maybe in the south for it, but depends how you look at it. It may be more popular in the north just because of like tradition and stuff. Um, yeah, it's hard to say really one way or the other. This punk Iceman has ridiculous hair. He looks like bloody Goldilocks. He deserves to be like bitch slap just for that. Stiff blows. Whoa, these fans shitting on Iceman. Not too long now. On the other channel, Halloween. Wrestling. Not wrestling, I'm getting my channels. Horror movies all month. Horror reviews, horror streams. And actually on this channel, I'll be doing Halloween Havoc streams, so sort of a wrestling tie-in there. He knocked him out with his butt. A butt bump, if you like. Well, that's a little sexist, guy. Nowadays, a lot of women are into sports as well, so that's a little old-fashioned. But I don't have a wife. I'm sure I would drive her mad if I did. The Exorcist is a classic, Getty. One of those that just holds up. It's a classic story and really, really scary. Great atmosphere. I love a lot of like the Japanese, obviously horrors, the ghost stories out of Japan. All sorts. I enjoy a good slasher. I enjoy the Pit and the Pendulum, that sort of thing as well. What about you, Getty? What horror movies do you enjoy? I recorded my first review actually for October the other day, so I'm going to record a few in advance. He missed with the butt splash that time. The one with Geller, that'll be The Grudge. Oh, Kamala back in. Jeepers Creepers I like. Yeah, the first two. The third one was terrible. But yeah, The Grudge, not too bad with Michelle Gellar. Sarah Michelle Gellar. And actually, one of the reviews I'm going to be doing in October is of the original Japanese Grudge. Ju-on the Curse, the first film in that insanely long franchise. I'm not sure about all the live streams, Getty. One I will be doing is Night of the Living Dead. Also, oh, big splash misses. Also, Zombie Flesh Eaters is one I plan on doing. Quite a few. Of course it is, Camille. I would expect nothing less. Classics. Well, I think I've only seen the first one, which was, it It has some perks. Story, though, pretty good as well for what it is. Maybe, I mean, apart from the smut, I hear they're pretty entertaining as B movies, so I might watch them. Oh, sure, Getty. I like all sorts of horror movies. There's things like Chopping Mall, Blood Diner, which I reviewed last year. Um, yeah, 80s movies. All sorts. A film I saw last year, Bliss, had a really good style. The original Halloween is a classic as well. Carnival Dolls, which definitely influenced David Lynch. I think a lot of the best horror are low budget, really. I think you lose a bit of the edge, really, if you put too much money into horror. God, this guy is rambling on. So many to choose from. I mean, some horrors are like so bad they're actually good, which is one thing I like about horror. It's one of the few genres where you can have fun at really bad movies. But yeah, like I know what you did last summer. I still know what you did last summer was, yeah, really bad. I would have to think. I watched Nightmare on Elm Street 6 a couple of weeks ago, and that's really, really bad. And I like some of those movies. I obviously love Freddy. Oh, here we go, The King. Yeah, yeah, I'm a big original Halloween fan. And there's some good sequels and some bad ones, of course. But Michael Myers is a great horror character. Hey, baby B, how's it going? Champion against champion, eh? Jerry Lawler and Kerry von Erich. Yeah, the old lady's getting into it. I'm not bad, thanks. B, how are you? Gentleman and the Scholar, eh? Oh, the King's so good at these promos where he comes across all sincere, but he's really like patronizing the other guy. But he's so good at making it look like he's legitimately complimenting him. Sort of like a mixture of the two. He's one of the best at it. Not really today, Morgan. Only to take the dog a couple of times. You talking to me, Anthony, or are you talking to Morgan? I went all De Niro there. You talking to me? Talking to me? Well, who the fuck are you talking about? Oh, me? Yeah, I'm okay. There you go. Never gets old. I love Taxi Driver. Trying to steal the belt. Classic. Tell him, Kingfish. He's scared of you. He's a coward, man. He's a sissy, that's why. I don't know. I remember it being pretty rough, Morgan. It's been a while, though. What impression? Oh, the De Niro one. The Samoan SWAT team. You talking to me? You talking to me? Well, who the fuck are you talking to? I'm sorry. I'll stop swearing. It's a family show. Tag team main event, I would think. Isn't that film from the early 90s, Morgan? Could be wrong. I remember it being a bit rough, though. Okay. And Gary Oldman, of course, appears in Juliet Landau's new film, her directing debut. Yeah, I thought it was like early 90s, 93, 94, something like that. Check out these sexy trunks on the Samoan SWAT team. The AWA champ feuding with the world class champ. I love me a good interpromotional rivalry. Yeah, it can be pretty wild stuff, Camilla. You should check out the X-Files episode. What's it called? Free? From the second season. With Duchovny's girlfriend, or his girlfriend at the time. The episode's called Free. It's from season 2. Doom 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 dum bum 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 bum. Same girl who was in Child's Play 3, which I found out. Thanks. Well, it wasn't a compliment, but yeah, it is quite fluffy. Wild Bill with his dodgy mullet. Bumper stickers. That is such a 1980s wrestling item. $14.95 as well for a membership. That's not bad. I love that old school. Getting newsletters with updates of wrestling. Well, probably the most excitement, Camilla. I'm not going to take the bait, by the way. Probably the most excitement is seeing the new Bill and Ted movie yesterday, which I absolutely loved. It was a blast. By the way, if I can find a picture for the thumbnail, I'm going to put the Samoan SWAT team and their flashy tights for this thumbnail. If I can find it. Oh, he fucked up. Maybe. Wasn't Dickie Davis one Getty? There you go. And I said it before you came up, yeah. Yeah, I've heard of him. Because he does football now on Sky. Some of the dirty moves they do. Do you have the WWE Network, Getty? Because if so, you can watch some of this stuff with me. Oh, really? So you go in for middle class slapheads, do you, Camilla? He was way off the mark on that one. I bet he hasn't heard that for a while. Of course, Dickie Davis, brilliant. Yeah, it's really good value for what you get, Getty. Um, well, there's been some greats out of Japan. Okay, cool. And obviously you can get a free trial. I really like Asha Kong, um, Asana, Asuka, who of course is in WWE. I really like the Jumping Bomb Angels, who were like an 80s Japanese tag team. I've not really seen their stuff in Japan, but I enjoyed a lot of their stuff in WWF from what I've seen. Oh, really? Do, do, do. Bam, bam. The King knocking him for 6. Boom, 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 boom. I guess it depends if you've had the trial before. If you're a first time customer, you should be able to get the free trial. Down, 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 doom, boom. Okay, there you have it. That's World Class Championship Wrestling from September 1998. No, I've had it for a few years now, Getty, quite a few years. So I already had the trial, but yeah, when you see what's on there, there's just so much stuff. So yeah, if you're a wrestling fan, it's really worth having because you've got all the WWF, WWE pay-per-views and Raws and stuff like that. You've got all the WCW pay-per-views, a lot of their TV shows. You have like ECW, you have independent promotions, you have like special sort of documentaries, stuff like that. So for $9.99, it's actually really good value a month. But okay, thanks for dropping by, everyone. I'm gonna look for that Wild Samoans picture of them and their flashy tights to put on the thumbnail if I can find it, because it's quite a sight. If not, it will be something else. But look out for more wrestling live streams and look out for more TV and film reviews on the other channel. But I'll see you guys again soon. Goodbye.